Hey everybody, what's going on? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today's the day that we announce the winners of the giveaway, so I'm throwing everybody up on the screen now. And I gotta say, this one was a lot of fun for me. I also had a really hard time picking winners for this. I got a lot of comments. A lot of you guys were very clever and funny, and I really appreciate it. I have been keeping an eye on the comments every day for a little bit, and then I literally just sat here for 2.5 hours going through comments trying to decide on the winner. So I had a really hard time doing it, but I had a really fun time doing it. So I really appreciate you guys. That was a lot of fun. There are so many runners up. I wish I could have given away. I wish I could have picked 20. It was really good. So I appreciate it. Congratulations to the winner. Sorry for everybody that couldn't get in. There's so many that I wanted to give gems to. So maybe in the future we can expand the giveaway, or we'll do something else. We can pick a few more because that was a lot of fun. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. Congratulations to everybody that won. I have sent your information over already, so you should be getting your gems sometime over the weekend. I don't know the timeline, but they should be coming. I think you should have them by Monday for sure. So congratulations again. I thought today we would just go in the news tab and just take a look at least what we can see that's happened this year, and talk a little bit about the lead up to now, and kind of where we're at moving forward. Because I think we're in an interesting spot right now, and I'll get into that. So this is just going to be a little bit more of a chat video, and it's going to be one where I'm gonna be queuing you guys up to share your thoughts with me a lot in the comments, because I just think we're in an interesting spot. The last thing we can access in here was the major feature update, as they call it, which was the Battle Pass and Dwarf Crypt and new champs and all that. Now, obviously there's a lot of contention here for this update, and there's also a lot of arguing going on, at least at the time, about the Battle Pass being good. People saying the update was bad, and then people having a rebuttal of, well, the Battle Pass is good. And the Battle Pass is fine in and of itself. There are some critiques for it for sure, but in and of itself, as far as the value we're accustomed to, the Battle Pass was fine. The issue was not that the Battle Pass was bad, it's that a major feature update, like you're calling it a huge update to the game, and you didn't really add anything to it except monetization, right? So people were upset about that. Dwarf Crypt came out and then didn't open up for like 12 days. And then apparently when it opened up in a way that indicated that it could have just opened up the first day. So very strange, but pretty typical of what we're used to over the last year, right? I've said many times over the last year, there's been these moments where Plarium has been at a crossroads. And I'll generally say, like, this would be the good thing to do, this is the bad thing to do. And they do the bad thing every time. Historically, they've done the bad thing every time. Even when it looks like they're going to do the right thing, they've done the bad thing, right? Up until very recently, which, again, we're working our way up to. But after that, a day after that, we got new champs. And they look cool, and they're interesting, but the problem that I think we're at now from them is that players that are higher level arena, players that are in platinum, I've spoken with several of them, and all of them seem to share the same sentiment. So I can't speak for platinum as a whole, but the ones I've spoken with have shared this mixture of boredom and frustration with arena now, and they've shown me pictures of their list. And the leaderboard, if you go in the leaderboard and scroll through Platinum, it's just blue. It's all Rotos and Sifi and Torment, and it's all the same stuff. So I think Plarium hasn't really done a good job of making Arena interesting. They've added a couple of features. They tried to add the Platinum tier, and they've tried to do a couple things, and I just don't think it's really hit that well. And again, there's not really a lot of opportunities in this game for meta deviation, right? That is reflected by going through the Platinum tier and Arena. It's just, I mean, if we go look right now, where do we go? Where do we go? We go here, and we go, I guess, top players, and we scroll. I mean, look at that. It's blue, 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 blue. It's all the same stuff. Everybody's doing the same thing. There's not a lot of deviation, right? And that's boring. That gets boring very quickly when there's not really a lot of opportunities to even introduce something into the meta to try to mix it up. It's all the same stuff. If you don't have the same stuff, you have to substitute it the best you can. But there's not a lot of room to be creative. There's not a lot of room for it to be interesting. And again, a lot of the platinum players that I've spoken to feel that way. They're just kind of like, I mean, I got to do it. I got to do it, but they're not having a good time with it. Now, the fan art contest, I think these kinds of things are cool. I appreciate that they want to get their community involved in things. I'm all about stuff like this. I got nothing negative to say about that. I think that's cool. They put out their new video. Now, I'm not going to critique that. I'm not going to bother. New commercial, that's fine. I'm not about that. New Prime content, we're familiar with that. Here, we have another huge feature update, they call it. And the huge feature update, we talked about this recently, added a few things to Platinum. So it was, I guess in a way, it was huge for Platinum Arena players. And then they added the login rewards, which we've also talked about. They're still not doing this correctly. And maybe that's subjective, but I think across the board, again, I don't know of any other mobile game that doesn't reward you for logging in every day on an ongoing basis. And again, it's also frustrating for people who've been playing a year. Now they're going to start at the 90-day mark, right? They don't really get rewarded for having been playing. We've logged in 180 days twice over at this point, and now we got to do it 90 more days to get the stuff. So it's just a strange system. It's just a strange system, and it's odd that they are continuing to move forward in the strangeness of the system. Why they're not just creating a daily login thing is beyond me. And I've heard a rebuttal that the Battle Pass has daily rewards, and that's sufficient. It's not. Daily login rewards are not daily missions. Those are different. That's why there's daily quests too in all these games, right? They're different things. Most games, the general rule of thumb is there's an incentive to log in beyond whatever it is you feel like you want to do for the day. There's no reason not to do it. And the fact that these end is frustrating. And the fact that it's not retroactive is frustrating. El Drago, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. So, again, just typical, right? Just typical stuff. Flashy, hyped, underwhelming for most of the player base. Limited time fusion. Now, here, just in the last 5 days, here is where we start to get a different look. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm saying we're in an interesting point. They drop a fusion. They drop a surprise legendary. They make him a fusion. There's no new champions involved in it. It's not that hard so far. The events have seemed okay based on what I've seen so far. He's a decent champ. He's fun. He's interesting. He's got some cool stuff. I think he's useful for any point in the game you're in. I think there's things to be done with him. It's a fun, engaging, appropriate fusion event. Doesn't seem to be gouging us. Isn't game breaking specifically for the whales. It's not someone to introduce into arena to make arena more boring, right? He's not a hard counter to anyone necessarily. He's just a fun addition, right? Appropriate, very appropriate. Boosted summon rates we'll just skip. We all know how a lot of us feel about the boosted summoning rates. And then the anniversary, free gifts for everyone, which again is fine. And then we talked yesterday about the actual balance patch that they're putting out, right? The actual attempt at a balance patch. And all of the names on the list are names everybody's been talking about for a while, right? Now, whether they hit or miss, whether it's perfect, it's probably the deepest attempt at a balance patch we've seen so far. Mashalad looks like he's going to be insane. If you haven't seen my video, go back and watch that. I'll put it at the card at the end of this video. He's going to be ridiculous. if the changes stay. They said the changes aren't set in stone, but if he stays the way he is, he's going to be ridiculous. They made an Oathbound. They made a couple of epics a little more interesting. Made quite a few changes to some of the legendaries who notoriously have been Vault Guardians. And they hit Duchess with a nerf, which again, I understand is frustrating for a lot of people, but games do that periodically, right? They do things to mix up the meta. And maybe it is enough and maybe it's not enough. But again, I've always said I've never demanded perfection. I just want to see the effort. I just want to see them trying. I want to see them doing the things that the player base is wanting done, or at least attempting to do it. So again, it's only been 5 days, and they have a lot more to do. They have a few months to go of showing us things like this, I think, before the tone can really start to change. Because again, they've been beating us down with nonsense for a year. Every time they could take a wrong turn, they've taken it. Even when it doesn't seem like there's a wrong turn to take, sometimes they've taken it. So it's been a really bad year for them. The tone is negative overall. The relationship is poor. The players are distrusting. There's a lot of repairing to do, and they're not even close. But I have to say, in the last 5 days, there's some interesting steps being taken. I don't know if they've hired someone new. I don't know if there's been some position changes. I don't know. Maybe someone had a Christmas Carol moment and three ghosts visited him at night and he's had a change of heart, whoever's making the decisions. I don't know. It will remain to be seen. But I think we're in an interesting state right now, and I want to know how everybody else feels about what's going on right now. Is it... Because here's how I'm feeling about it. I generally like to have optimism that the subject of whatever my thinking is going to do the right thing. But I'm also pretty logical about it, and I'm aware that it's very possible they won't. And in this case, we have a year of data telling us that they more than likely will not. But you still kind of hope they do, you know what I mean? You still kind of hope they'll figure it out. So I don't know. Hopefully they can continue on a path similar to what they're doing the last few days and not have any huge hiccups. Because, again, they're at this point where even the fact that we're talking about being optimistic at this point makes it fragile, right? I think it makes it fragile. So if there's any kind of hiccup, if they do anything stupid anytime soon, it's going to get worse than it was, right? I feel like people are going to be less willing to even consider being optimistic. So that's kind of where my mind's at with it. I'll be interested to know what you guys think about it. If you're a newer player, maybe you're not feeling the things that a lot of us are feeling yet. You know, if you've been here for a year, I think more than likely you have some of these thoughts at least. But let me know what you guys think about it below. How do you feel about the balance, the 1.4 notes we got? Hopefully that's not all 1.14 is. Hopefully there's more to it than that. They really need a good, big, real patch, balance patch, some content. You know, they really need a good, beefy patch that pops off without a week and a half of server issues. You know what I mean? They need some good looks moving forward. So, of course, I would love to see it turn around and everything get better and then make this game as great as it could be. But it's really hard to to think that they'll do it. So that's it. I'm done rambling. Let me know what you guys think, how you're feeling about the state of things. Again, congratulations to the giveaway winners. I will let you guys know when it's time for another one. And we'll see what we can come up with to make that one interesting as well. And I appreciate all the participation. I appreciate all the support that you guys bring to the channel. And, you know, the stream's been popping off. Everything's going great, and I really do appreciate you guys. So let's keep it going. And I reckon I will just see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. That damn truck.